Three, two, one. So today for the Bitcoin price. Now, I'm only kidding, guys. That's not even my usual intro. So why do we start again? Welcome back to Twitter Crypto for another video, guys. In today's video, we are going to jump into BTC because BTC today has been doing pretty well. I'm going to show you where I've made my trade, whether I'm still on my trade, and where are we likely to head for BTCs. Because if you take a look at BTC from a daily chart perspective, guys, it's not looking too bad at all, actually. And there's a couple of reasons why I took the trade earlier. So why don't we just quickly do our top-down analysis, and then we can talk about my trade, why I took the trade, and that I can see BTC can actually go much more higher from here. But there is a slight caveat, and on top of that, we do also need to do our top-down analysis so we can see the price action from a smaller time frame and just have a little look-see on where BTC will head at least for the next couple of hours. So, but yeah, I'm super confident. But are you? Why don't we just take a look at the chart? Okay, guys, so for the daily chart of BTC, not looking too bad, guys. We did dump very heavily, but we recovered nicely at the same time. I wish I actually got in down there, but I wasn't paying attention, much like the rest of the world, on what was happening in crypto whilst we were all asleep. But anyway, we found a way back up to the upside. We got bought up very nicely. We'll then pull back. This is almost like a nice double bottom on the daily charts, and we have a nice big engulfing green candle. Hopefully the next daily candle will print green so we can smash above this level right over here. Now, why don't we take a look at the 4-hourly chart? All right, and a 4-hourly chart, it gives us a little bit more details from a smaller time frame, because you can see, where's my arrow? We can see that we have broken above this level right over here. We can see we've broken above this level right over here, but we still need to clear this zone up here for us to remain a little bit more bullish before we continue our way to the upside. The reason why I say that, because I do love my breakout trades, but you could be a web trader, you could be a candle wick trade, you could be a breakout trade, you could even be a block trader, which means you could be looking for a possible short from up here or buy from down there. Doesn't matter, guys. I'm just waiting for that move or that continuation to the upside from here. So the 4-hourly chart, it still looks fairly healthy. I just want to see this 4-hourly chart gets taken over by the next green candle, breaking above to the upside. So even from the 4-hourly points, it still looks pretty nice. We haven't dropped any further back up here. We are testing back in this level. That's more or less all the, well, to be fair, a lot of volume is actually built up in this level right up here. So it really depends in the next few hours, guys, whether we do see the sells taken over or the buys. So that's how it looks like from a 4-hourly chart. Why don't we draw some lines so we can, that's it. We need to be above this line in order for us to remain even more bullish, and potentially for me to hold my current trade, which we'll get back to in a second. Now let's take a look at the chart from a hourly chart, and what do we see? What we see is we actually pull back a little bit to retest this level right over here. We notice a red indecision candle over here, which is called a doji candle, and we have just printed another candle. Now, if this candle turns red, I could see us pull our way back down into this level right over here. So the current price is at $91,000. If we do pull back into this level at around about $87,000, that will be a perfect re-entry for a possible another trade to go to the upside. But so far, guys, what do you reckon? Do you reckon we're going to go to the downside or to the upside? Once again, I actually forgotten the disclaimer. Guys, remember, none of this is financial advice. Please only trade with what you can afford to lose, because in crypto, you can lose all of your monies as well as make some significant gains. Trade carefully, and if you trade leverage, once again, guys, make sure you do put a stop loss, because you can potentially blow all of your account. So why don't we just get back into the chart, because right now what we're noticing, we are noticing the current candle. So far it's printing green, but I just want to see a confirmation breaking above the current levels right over here, breaking this high and continuing to the upside in order for me to hold my current buy position. So we're talking about my buy position. Now I have placed a long position right over here, guys. Check this out. I've placed my long position right over here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to explain to you the reason why I've took this trade. As we can see, let me just move that 1 second. As we can see, guys, since we made this break to the upside, this lovely run to the upside, if you notice this green candle right over here, once we do break from this level, a nice buying opportunity, or at least buying opportunity back up into this level right here. That's why initially I went in for that 1-to-1 risk to rewards. However, I still kept this position running a little bit more further to the upside. My stop loss was a little bit lower than this level, than these two candles wick down here, because sometimes we could see wick to the bottom before continuing to the upside, but instead we saw a nice healthy run to the upside, which is not too shabby, guys. Since we noticed this red candle right over here, which means we didn't comfortably break this level right up here, hence why I drew this important resistance level. Actually, guys, as we can see, lots of candles in this level right here. That is the liquidity area, which will decide whether BTC would either decide the BTC go either to the upside, although there's lots of buying and sell positions right over here, hence a lot of candles up here. But if we do see a lot more buying position, then we should continue our way to the upside. That's from a 4-hourly chart. Now, why don't we dive into the 1-hourly chart to give us a little bit more of, so we can see, at least from a smaller time frame, a little bit more details. Now, we don't need too many arrows, so let me just delete some of these. Actually, I'll just delete that one, and I'll keep this one for reference sake. Okay, what do we see on a 1-hourly chart? Remember, guys, I've drew these lines and made these marks from a daily chart. Now, going into the smaller time frame, as we can see, guys, we've been respecting this area for a little while. Okay, let's just widen the chart a little bit more. Okay, we've printed the first red candle with a higher wick to the top and smaller body in the top. Usually that means some sort of a reversion or reversing back down to anywhere near here, but this could be a potential another buy opportunity, because we did pull back into this level, we then retested by this red indecision doji candle, and we could actually see a continuation to the upside. But I do love breakout trades, so for me, I want to see a continuation to the upside before I look to go in for another trade. But if we do see a break below this red candle and we go back down into this level, guys, this would be another perfect buying opportunity of around about $87,000 for a continuation to the upside. And that is not a prediction, guys. I do not like to predict. If anything, I prefer to follow the price action, and I only like to go off on probability. So if I do see break to the downside, I'm still going to hold this trade, but I might add more to my position, or I might consider, after seeing break to the downside, take what's profit left and wait for it to come back down to around about here to re-enter another one. But knowing the way that I trade, I do like to add multiple positions. If I see a possible continuation to the upside, I will be holding this trade and wait for it to pull back before I can hit another buy position to the upside. So that's my trade. That's my analysis on BTC. Guys, you let me know down in the comments whether you reckon my analysis are correct or incorrect. If you are in a trade, especially with leverage trade, you let me know, guys, down in the comments.